We'll do it live.
Okay.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
Say is, ooh, I'll be seconded. Ooh, I'll be seconded. Ooh, I'll be seconded. Ooh, I'll be seconded. When a Bowen turned into a vampire, all James was could say was, ooh, I'll be seconded. Ooh, I'll be seconded. Ooh, I'll be seconded. Ooh, I'll be seconded. When he became Peter's best friend, they sat around the house and said, seconded, ooh, I'll be seconded, ooh, I'll be seconded, ooh, I'll be seconded. And you know that James Woods practices his lines real well, but everything that he reads becomes real hard to spell. Everyone tries to help him, but the words just won't come out. There's only one thing he can think of, and it's what comes out his mouth. Ooh, I'll be seconded, ooh, I'll be seconded. Ooh, I'll be seconded. Ooh, I'll be seconded. When he comes out of his house, the women scream and shout. Ooh, I'll be seconded. Ooh, I'll be seconded. Ooh, I'll be seconded. Ooh, I'll be seconded. When they know that he's nectar, the best of them all when he says, ooh, I'll be seconded. Ooh, I'll be seconded. Ooh, I'll be seconded. Ooh, I'll be seconded. Reese's Pieces on the floor and watch him come a saying, ooh, I'll be seconded. Ooh, I'll be seconded. Ooh, I'll be seconded. Ooh, I'll be seconded. And you know that James Woods practices his lines real well, but everything that he reads becomes real hard to spell. Everyone tries to help him, but the words just won't come out. There's only one thing he can think of, and it's what comes out his mouth. Ooh, I'll be seconded. Ooh, I'll be seconded. Ooh, I'll be seconded. Ooh, I'll be seconded. When he comes out of his house, the women scream and shout. Ooh, I'll be seconded. Ooh, I'll be seconded. Ooh, I'll be seconded. Ooh, I'll be seconded. Seconded.
That girl,
Seeing things you people wouldn't believe.
So, a creature for my amusement. Prepare for battle.
Fucking thing sucks!
Aloha! Even though we're not in Hawaii. Fuck it. It's good. I wish I had a lay right now, if you know what I mean. Happy Thursday, everybody. It's Uncle Warren here. And, oh wait, I got a little eye candy there. What's this? Oh, it's Devil! This Devil's doing that! I'm your Uncle Warren, and tonight is a very special night. I enjoy doing all these shows, don't get me wrong. Everybody I've had the opportunity to talk to, it's been great. But we're getting into the toys. We're getting into the tech. I love that kind of stuff. And I got a couple guys here. I'm going to bring in just a moment that we're going to go over. If you're trying to break into live streaming, this is kind of like a 101 course, a little intro, kind of skim the surface, give you a little bit of information, talk about it, talk about your motivations, why you want to get into live streaming, and what kind of stuff you want to do, maybe what kind of toys you need to do to get the job done. But first, let me shout out everybody in the chat in no particular order. We got Ed Heller here, Gamer for Life, Kim, there's Sleepy Josh in the chat too. He's like the wind. He's everywhere.
I'm a ninja.
What? Shh, you shut up, Devil. The Debate Me channel's here. And I told you it was that kind of show. Reed Breland and Steve Cutler and Troy. Everybody, thanks for showing up tonight. Like I said, this is like, what was it, frickin' frack? The guys, the auto mechanics on the thing. Hey guys, we got Oz from Roar Media. He is also the man behind the curtain for the Convo Couch and a few other shows. That's probably your favorite. And Sleepy Josh, Tech Ninja for Slow News Day Show. Gentlemen, welcome. I appreciate you coming on tonight.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for having me, guys. Good to see you both.
All right.
Likewise.
It's good to see you both. And technically speaking, it's good to see you. That means the cameras are working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's always a plus. And your audio's great. 5x5 there, Warren.
I appreciate you, brother. So if you don't mind, just briefly, if you want, we'll start with Josh. Just kind of tell us what got you into this. What was it that made you want to be the guy on the ones and twos?
I actually started with Action for Assange, so I used to watch the Unity for J vigils, and then once those ended and they started theirs, I was horrified at their tech skills watching the streams. And so I had Misty get a hold of one of them because she knew him, and so I just started doing their streams, and shortly thereafter I started doing Slow News Day. So that's how that happened.
Nice. And
kind of an accident.
Well, Oz being the youngest of all of us here, I'm sure he's only been in the game for a short time. What made you decide to be the guy?
You know what? I wasn't me wanting to be the guy so much, but it was me wanting to get the ladies' voices out there. When I started listening back in Air America days, back when, I'd have a set of headphones on listening all day long, it was pretty good, but I got inspired through the years by watching more social media influencers come up and get out there, and it was predominantly men. Not that I'm, too hard on the guys, but I wanted to hear the ladies' perspectives. I was raised like that. I had a great mom who worked her ass off and got shit on all the time, and I started to see that trend go in independent media. So that's what inspired me to get behind the curtain. I prefer to be behind the curtain. I'm not a camera guy, as you can tell. The system's not melting down or anything yet, right, Warren? We're good. Okay.
Because of the heat that you're giving
I don't
off,
even turn
Oz?
mine on. So.
Yeah. No, but that's why we put together Roar Media, which is women driven, all women on the board for the most part. You got a couple of us guys as placeholders, but we're going to be doing training, and anybody that's interested in doing streams, come on over, give us a shout. We'll help you get off the ground and do some test streams for you and set you up with whatever you'd like as far as format.
Well, that's a good segue into I know when I got into doing live streaming, I have a TV background from the 90s. I used to work in local TV down there, and so we were working with like Grass Valley switchers, Sony Beta cams. Everybody wonders what happened to Beta, the home Beta. It's like, oh well, Beta just disappeared. No, it went to the TV stations because the quality was great. It's just nobody could afford it on the commercial level. It had to be on the home level. It was pricey because it was so good, and so the TV stations started picking that up. I like to tell the kids, long ago there used to be a thing called non-linear editing, where you had tape decks, and then you had a record deck, and then you had a switcher, and it was like what would take like an hour now would probably take about 10 hours back then, if you're trying to put in all the little bells and whistles that you want in there too. So but I think for me it was like I was in the news part, and I kind of got disillusioned about news.
Really?
I know, right?
Propaganda there, buddy. You got tired. You weren't buying, huh?
I told you before the show started, I like to surround myself with people smarter than me, and I ended up doing that, and some of those smarter people were like, look, dude, this is not news anymore. When you're leading off your newscast with flower shows because you have a sponsor that's a florist, it was time to get out. So I was out for I'd say about 20 years, since like early 2000s. And then I was inspired. I tell people this, I say this on the show all the time. I was inspired by the women, by Misty and by Fiorella, but also the dudes, Steve over at Slow News Day, and I was always fascinated when I watched these shows, because I was getting the information, news, but I was always wondering, like, how are they doing this? How are they putting this on the magic picture box? How does
Let's not forget Glory Jones.
Oh, Glory. Well, that's a given. She's
Love
like
her,
on
Glory.
Mount Olympus.
Love Glory. Love.
Yeah,
Glory.
I'm her salty hype man. I had to give her an honorable mention.
Right on. I appreciate that. And please do, because I'm a bit of a stoner, so my memory's shit, and I don't want to miss giving shout outs to anybody that deserves it. You know what I mean? So if I miss somebody, it's because my brain is a little bit rotten. So don't worry about it. It's no disrespect intended. I'm just like they say, rode hard and put up wet. That kind of thing with life. So
I like that. That's a boomer saying. I love it. Yeah, good.
well, my sisters are boomers, so my middle sister, I was very close with her, and so she taught me a
what
lot.
Warren, are you like 35 or something, or what?
Oh, look at you! You're the sweetest thing, Oz. Flip it around. Flip it around. Yeah, I appreciate that. No, I'm good with being this age. I have a good excuse for yelling at kids out on the street to get out of the yard, even though I don't have a yard. But get the hell out of here, you little bastards! And they're like, "Oh, the old man in the haunted house."
Yeah, as long as you don't do the Gran Torino thing with Clint Eastwood, that's a little bit pushing it, I think. So.
No, yeah, I think the only weapon I would have is if if I mooned them, and then they'd probably call the cops on me. You know, it's
Lethal
that kind of
weapon. That would be a lethal weapon. Yeah, mooning. No, can't do that. Not at
Sir,
our age, man.
You're gonna have to come with us for harming these children. What? I said, well, you blinded them with this big, giant, white albino whale that you stuck out the window. So yeah, so I was curious about the technology that goes into these things. And first thing I did, I started looking in the live stream in the descriptions down below, because sometimes they would put like what software they were using. Like that's how I heard of StreamYard. I think it may have been, I'm not sure whose show it was, but they had it in there, and I was like, okay. And so I Googled or I goose. What is it? DuckDuckGo? Not DuckDuckGoose. I DuckDuckGoosed it. Fuck it. We're just saying DuckDuckGoose. And I was like, oh, this is cool. And you know, and I talked to some people in our little circle of folks, and kind of picked their brains, and they were talking about OBS, and they were talking about, you know, like I said, StreamYard. And I think there's a few others too. That I mean, there are a lot of like things that you can get away with streaming that are not necessary. They're used mostly for just like meetings, right? But they're not, you know, I don't know. I use, like tonight I'm using StreamYard inside of OBS Studio, right? And but normally with StreamYard, if you don't want to have all the fancy bells and whistles, you could pay like 20 something a month. Hang on a second. I have
It's like 25.
Yeah, it's like 25. Let's look at StreamYard.
I mean, the huge advantage to StreamYard is you only have to have enough bandwidth to like upload your camera. and your
Yeah,
audio.
that's big.
So it
That's
makes
big.
a huge, like, so for a lot of people that's going to allow a lot of people to be able to stream where they wouldn't normally be able to.
So this is StreamYard's plans right here.
It's 20.
Now it says $20 a month, but you have to pay like the full year, right?
No. You can do it monthly.
You can do it monthly? Okay.
Yeah, I do it monthly.
Yeah, that I mean, because a lot of times people, even though that would be like 240.
Yeah, no, if you had to pay it yearly, a lot of people wouldn't be able to use it.
Oh, I think this might be this $20 a month might be. This says billed annually. It says save $60.
Oh, I think it's
monthly.
I think it's $25 a month if you do it monthly.
But yeah, 25 is not bad. I mean, so you get rid of the duck with $25 a month, unlimited streaming, 10 on-screen participants. You can use your own logo and overlays and backgrounds, custom destinations you want to stream to more than one place. You get 6 hours of recording per month, I think. So
no, it's for, I think it's like, it's now size based, so it's like 50 gigabytes, and then you need to start deleting stuff once it fills up. Now they changed it recently.
Oh, okay. So where am I?
But I'd highly recommend it. It's made like it's a lot easier to use and learn. If you want to go to OBS, I mean, it still has its uses. I still use it for virtual camera. So
I think, I mean, Oz, maybe you know better than I do. So like, what advice would you give somebody? Like, say I came to you and said, Oz, I want to start a political channel. Maybe I'm not quite sure which platform to use. I'm not quite sure which software to use. What do you recommend?
I recommend don't do it. Don't do it. But if you really have to do it, I don't know. Sleepy might agree, or OBS, StreamYard is probably the best way to go. For the point that Sleepy said, is you don't have to worry about bandwidth going into it, and that's probably the simplest. But I will say to that, the best thing to do is to hook up with an engineer so they can go through all the ropes. It'll save you time and frustration all day long. And I think both of you may agree with that. It's good to talk to somebody who's out just to help you, and tip your engineer, of course. That's always good. Got to tip them, but it's worth it. It's absolutely worth it. Sleepy, what do you think? Do you think that that's the way they should go?
Oh, 100%. I mean, I'm happy to answer any questions when people hit me up and stuff in DMs, and like it. I highly recommend doing that because it's overwhelming when you first start trying to do all the tech side of it. Like even with StreamYard, it feels overwhelming. So having some advice in the beginning is probably good, and they can get you, hooked up on Restream and other platforms, and
Yep.
at least point you in the right direction.
It'll save you time, and that being said, when you make that connection with not just one engineer necessarily, but the folks out there in the community, and I want to talk to that later. But you get the insight on graphics software and free stuff and everything else. It'll make life much easier in the long run. I guarantee it. And we need those voices out there. It's just Warren, Josh, I think it's more the motivation. Where do you want your stuff to land, and why are you doing it? And you're going to probably segue into that later, Warren. But don't you think that's it? That's really behind it. Otherwise, you're on a road to burnout, I think.
Also, I mean, if you're just getting started with this, don't expect to make shit off it. Like, you're not going to make shit. You don't make shit, dude. You get suppressed. You get censored.
Oh yeah.
Like it's hard to pay the bills on this shit. So make sure you can eat and stuff if you're gonna do this stuff, because it's not rewarding at the moment.
Yeah, we can tell you how you can possibly make money at some point if you want to have that discussion later. But yeah, go into it expecting to drop a little bit of money, and StreamYard's probably the most economical. OBS, of course, the free is that. And yeah, talk to your engineer. Make some friends out there and be earnest and sincere. And remember, don't be a taker. Share mutually. Mutual aid in live streaming is just as important as mutual aid in any other aspect of what we're out here trying to do.
So that's a good segue. I'm actually starting. I just got the domains for it in the last week. I'm going to be putting up a site with videos on how to do a lot of this stuff.
Yay!
So
Yes, sir. I'm amazed.
I'm gonna be using like Odyssey in my site, and I don't want to fuck with YouTube, man. I'm over it.
God, amen. YouTube is
I mean, I'll still put my stuff on there.
Yeah,
I have a channel on there, but I don't want to make that that's another thing. Diversify your platforms as much as possible.
big time.
Stream to as many as you can. It doesn't matter if you check the chat on all of them. Just make sure you're streaming as many eyes as you can get on it. Because a lot of us, we know this. We get strikes. We can't live stream for a week on YouTube. So make sure your people know there's other places to go to get your content while you're live.
Yeah, and you can do that for free too, unless you get fancy for RTMPs. So we just started streaming internationally over at Roar. So whatever comes over to our channel, whether it's your show or anybody else's show that we get permission, we kick it internationally. So that's just one more way of helping our sisters and brothers get out there and get the word out.
Yeah, and shout out to Franklin for giving me some of the info on that.
Yeah, Franklin set us up for international streaming.
Nice.
So kudos to
Franklin. So it's on my list to finish all that stuff, but I love that man.
So where internationally are you at now?
We're God, Franklin's got the list. I've got
I
it
think
here.
it's VK.
Yeah, VK. God, let me pull it up real quick.
There's a bunch of ones I hadn't heard of.
Yeah, there's a ton. VK, we're going D Live. We're going to. We're trying to get into Australia. We've got. Wow, Twitch. Well, Twitch, of course, and. Oh God, it doesn't say the name of these, but I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. D Live, I guess that's one of them. Twitter, and then there's one with a unicorn. I don't know where that goes. I hope it's a cool place. But we got 1,
The
2,
land
3,
of
4, 5,
unicorns.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We've got 10 alternate streams, and they're all our sub streams. I'll call them a substream. They're all, and we've got YouTube and Rockfin on top of those because they're RTMPs. And what an RTMP, for those of you who don't know the acronym, it's real time media protocol. Is that right, Sleepy?
I say that again. I was responding to some people in chat.
Real time media protocol. Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or, yeah. It's an old like remnant of Flash.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
they're trying to phase it out, but that's still what everyone uses.
Yeah, I remember Flash. Those are the days. Yeah.
If also, I mean, for like $5 a month, you can set up your own restream basically. It's really fucking easy. So if anyone wants info on how to do that, hit me up. I've got Docker files to do it all already. It's super easy. Got to run a server, but you can do it on a super cheap server, and that's how I get around the 3 stream limit on StreamYard. Is we go to restream, and then all the custom RTMP stuff I have on my server.
I didn't know StreamYard had a 3 stream limit. Is that mean going out of StreamYard, their bandwidth is cut to 3 so they don't overload?
It's just 3 destinations on the regular one. I think you get more with the other plan, but I just threw up a quick forwarder and we just forward out to there too, and then I don't have to pay restream.
Yeah,
so
cool.
Saves you $20 a month, and that one adds up quick. The more custom RTMP you add, it gets obnoxious.
Well, yeah, I've got Livestream Studio, which is Vimeo makes that product, and I bought the program. It's like $1,000, but you got to have a god to run the thing because it's it's like a miniature studio. But I've ran 5 streams out at once, but the bandwidth got cut down so low. That I get kicked off of it. Now, if I was on a fiber optic hub, that might be a different story, but I'm just using Xfinity, and it's 40 up. So once you start trimming that, peeling the skins off that onion, it gets pretty hanky.
So let's talk.
XSplit also is a good option too if people don't want to mess with it. XSplit, it's kind of like OBS, but it will do multi.
I was messing around a little bit with that today, and you can actually import if you got stuff in OBS Studio. I think you can export it to a .json file,
but
and then you can import it into
the interface is so much better. That's what Slow News Day ran off for like 2 years.
Oh, right.
I ran it. It was a combination of that and Jitsi, and I kind of modified Jitsi to stream a little better. So
yeah, I'm always trying to look for different varieties of programs to use, because you never know, you might find something that's more suits your style and that sort of thing.
I really liked XSplit, man. I got the suggestion from Barmus, and I wasn't unhappy about it.
How much? Do you remember how much it was a month for that?
It's cheap, man. I think it was like $15 every 3 months or something. It was pretty cheap.
Right. Because I know like there's a free version, but it has like their watermarks or something like that. But
yeah, and it has time limits, I think.
It's
cheap though.
Yeah, I went. How free can I do this? Because
I'm a free software guy, so if I can do it free, I generally do. But XSplit saved me time for the visuals because of all the scenes I had to set up.
Right.
So I used to do it in OBS, and it was a nightmare. So because we had so many slides and so many stuff to pull up, so XSplit made it a little better.
So when the big C hit, and we were I was out of work, but I was getting a decent amount for unemployment. I took some of that, and I built my little system here. I was telling Oz about it yesterday. It's I got an AMD setup. It's like a Ryzen 7 3700X processor in there with about 32 gigs of RAM. I want to get 64 in there, but gotta wait for that.
You can do it with 16.
Yeah, I mean, but I got a lot of I don't know. See, I need to go in here and like streamline a lot of this stuff because this it's very graphics heavy. It's not tonight because we have very little graphics on here, but usually I have like I'm
Oh
one
yeah,
of
and
the,
OBS is a hog too on memory, so there's that.
yeah. I mean, let's see. Right now, right now not too bad. Using 4.5% of the CPU on the CPU, so not
Oh,
too
that's
bad.
great.
But I'm a little fuzzy. It's my internet, New York internet that I have. I have Spectrum, probably the cheapy stuff. Like it's only got like 10, 12 up, so
Uh,
uh,
I'll show you how to figure out what you need to have your bit rate.
right on. Because yeah,
So you
I was. Go ahead.
you only want to use 80% of your upload because your latency goes to shit after that. So if you do a speed test, 80% of that, and then you can figure out what bit rate you need to calculate it as, and then that should clean up your video a little bit.
I think I got it set to like half of my upload right now. I think it's like at 6,000. But that's something I'm always like trying to play with and tinker with, that sort of thing.
Oh, you definitely don't need 6,000 for the bit rate.
You could go lower than that.
Yeah, like I wouldn't go above 2,500 on that.
Whoa, look at you, money bags. Hey, listen, how does that work, Magic? Because that
I mean,
seems like
are you streaming at 720 or 1080?
1080.
I would stream at 720 as well. It works better on some of the other platforms that don't do transcoding on the fly. So
Yeah,
if you downscale to 720, it's a lot better.
yeah.
And it uses a shitload less bandwidth.
That's I built all this stuff at 1080, and I'm like I'm gonna have to go in and fix it. But fortunately, I don't have that much to do because I already like gutted this thing with all the crap that I did.
Oh no, you can just set OBS. You don't have to change your scenes. You just have to change the stream output resolution. It'll scale it down.
Yeah, the 720 pp is what I used to run at until I got the hog here. So yeah, absolutely.
It makes a huge If you're running 1080 streams with like 6,000 bit rate, you're using a ton of bandwidth.
Yeah, it's just like it's like putting a log down a straw, man. You just lighten it up and you'll be much happier.
That sounds like my college days, boys. Log down a what? I don't even know what that means. I'm sorry.
Hey, sorry, I'm trying to stay away from the sexual innuendo here. So yeah.
Ooh, scandalous! Oh my! Oh,
Hey, I haven't done a "that's what she said" joke once on this stream. I'm proud of myself.
well, the night is young, so there's always time. Don't worry, it's not on your channel, so you can say what you want. It's fine. I like to roll the dice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I didn't see that sign at the door, so I better rethink my how I roll here.
I like to think of this show as like the old '70s game show where like the celebrities were on there like drinking and smoking and saying like all kinds of dirty shit.
Yeah.
We like to keep it classy around here, but I didn't say what kind of class. So when I started doing this, I had a little bit of idea because I used to I would build graphics and stuff for like newscasts and stuff. So I had a kind of an idea of, and I would watch other people's streams, and I would see how they're doing it, and just kind of mix and match that sort of thing. So I mean, tell me if this is wrong. So like if you want to start out. Let's talk about the software first. So let's say we're going to start off with StreamYard. You would say that's probably just the easiest thing to do if you're not technically minded, right? Because you have
100%.
two kinds of people. You have the tech heads, and then you got those damn non-technical types, but they're willing to learn.
I got Misty running the vigils on StreamYard.
You trained her well,
and she is not the most tech savvy person. Like, it made her nervous as fuck, but like she got used to it.
Well, she seems to be doing okay.
She's doing great. Like, she picked it up. I hung out for the first month or so of her streams, and she picked it up. So.
And you said, "Fly, birdie, fly."
I still pop it once in a while. I like lurking.
I know, right? I do too. I'll have a stream on, and I'll be like working on like graphics or something, and I just like to listen and get them the view time for their for their
Well, yeah,
get their
most of what I
numbers
do
up.
on the back end is website work at this point. Like, I'm working on her site, Facts on the Ground, new one for Slow News Day, helping Roar with some stuff, like a little bit of. We're trying to replace Linktree since I guess they're doing fuckery.
Oh, really?
So I mean, yeah, I think they're crap canning some people. So
Oh no.
I found working on trying to get an easy way to have our own self-hosted Linktrees. So that's what I've been doing a lot, is just trying to figure out alternative platforms for social media, everything. Like we have got to start branching out,
When yeah,
like, in a big
definitely.
way.
We're going to be doing more of these little tech nights, and get and you guys are always welcome to come back for those. And hopefully, maybe the next time you come on, Josh, if you got all that stuff built, we can go ahead and start pushing that on here as well. Get the word out, because
Yeah,
people would
I've
really
got a WordPress theme that's open source that it'll be anyone can download it, and it's good for like embedding videos and shit. So that's and there's an importer that will pull your shit off Odyssey or YouTube. And
Ooh, I want that.
so once it'll be. I had to make some changes to work with Odyssey, so I'm just doing the final testing on that. And I'll shoot you guys links when I'm done. I'll give them to Franklin.
I just deputized you. I'm gonna do Oz here too. So if you want to drop any
Hey.
links in the chat, go for it. Oz as well, if you're down for that. If you've got some information like, oh hey, maybe the folks might want this. If you want to do that, that's fine. If not, fuck these people. I don't even know them. No, they're nice people.
Well,
they're nice people.
I'm hoping I have a day or two to prep for this next one, and then I'll have a lot more info for y'all.
We're easy like
make it all
Sunday morning.
fancy.
We're just trying to get the information out there. That's one of the goals of this show. That's what motivated me. It was like the old news guy in me wanted to get back into the mix, and I remember when YouTube started becoming a thing. Right, this was before. I think this was before Google bought them, and it was great. It was like this is the perfect outlet for the revolution, right? And then Google said,
Yeah.
nope, we're buying the revolution.
Fun fact: I worked at Google during that transition, and it was a fucking shit show, and I knew it was going to tank fucking YouTube.
Oh wow.
Just say it.
What did you do
Fuck
at Google?
Google, dude. I was a contractor there. I did fucking support for their like employees and shit.
Oh, right
A
on.
bunch of random shit. It was all right,
And that was it.
but
That was
they
the.
treat their employees like garbage.
Oh wow, there's a shock.
Dude, they treat
Got
the
it.
contractors better than the low level employees there. It's nuts.
Wow.
They get the I made like 15 grand more than like the guys who had to have like master's degrees from the Bay Area to work there. They're making like 35 grand a year, dude. You can't pay rent there for that.
That's
Oh, no.
oh my god.
It's insanity. Fucking insanity, dude.
You guys are both
get a
West
better job at
Coasters.
Walmart.
I know, right?
Straight up. Dude,
That's
you could make more money managing a fucking McDonald's. 100%.
That is, it kills me to think about that. What the potential of YouTube could have been, but back then that was the only game in town. But now you have a few more platforms. They're kind of jury's still out on some of them. But what do you think besides YouTube? Well, leaving YouTube out, what do you think the best video platform for somebody to start out on would be right now? Oz, maybe you go first.
No, I'm going to let Sleepy go first on that. I've got some pretty shitty opinions on that, so go right ahead, Sleepy.
I actually really like Odyssey. The only problem with it, to live stream, you have to like put a claim on your channel, but you can just go watch videos on Odyssey for like a month, maybe 2, and you'll have enough shit to be able to do it usually. So it's not too terrible, but I like Odyssey. It's nice.
How many stars do you have to stream over there on Odyssey? Live stream.
I mean, if you already have an established YouTube channel and shit, you can just have them sync your YouTube shit with it, and I think they kind of waive that they having to claim shit. But if you're just
Yeah.
like just starting out, then they just don't want people that aren't gonna like continue streaming to just pop up, stream some horrible shit, and then pop out. So I get it.
Yeah, and the traffic's getting more and more every day. I tried to live stream over there a couple of times about a month ago.
I
We're
will
gonna-
teach you the secret to that. Dude, it is a pain in the ass. Basically, what you do is you set up one live stream link. After the live stream, you go in there, you create a new post, and you select the replay.
Why do they
It-
do
it's-
that?
It's fucking convoluted as shit. It's fine once you get used to it, but yeah, it's just because it's blockchain based and shit. It's weird, but the way they like, if you have to create a new live stream for each one, it's more of a pain in the fucking ass.
Well, that's the problem I have with Rumble. See, Rumble, they give you a different stream key for it. They don't have a static stream key. So
Yeah, that's how Odyssey is, I think. So I just created
Yeah.
the one live stream, and you just keep reusing that one, and then you
Yeah,
just
well-
post the replay as a new post.
So you could probably
Not
do
too
that on the Rumble stream too, right?
I have not fucked with Rumble yet.
Well, if I was straight starting out, I'd go over and I'd go Rumble right now. I would start with Rumble.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly not a bad option. A lot of people.
Well, you're getting like Jimmy's over there. He says for now that's his home over there, and I just do it. I do it for any other reason, just to poke YouTube in the eye socket. I'm hoping this Panquake thing evolves into what they're proposing it will become. I don't know. I hope so. But we need our turf, because back in 2015, everything started going in the toilet. And certainly by 2017, 2018, the algorithms had kicked all of us independents out, because the main streamers figured out, well, they're not watching CBS Evening News or MSNBS. So they partnered with Google to freeze everybody out and screw everybody over on that side of the channel. Because we originally were with Uphill. That channel was, within a year, had 27,000 subs. Give me a break. Are you telling me 3 years later that we can't get over 1,000 subs in a fair amount of time? Something's not right there. I'd love your insights on that, you guys.
I mean, I can speak from Slow News Day. We watch our view counts go backwards. Like we haven't kept a subscriber in fucking forever. Like they've locked us for years. Like, I mean, our Rockfin numbers are like subscriber wise is like way higher than YouTube. It's bizarre.
Oh yeah, ours too. Yes.
So that's usually like they say. I think you're lucky to get. I think it's 15% or something like that of your YouTube audience numbers, and we're like a lot more than that. So
Yeah.
something fuckery's afoot at YouTube.
And Josh, you got those you got those subs on Rockfin fairly quick too, didn't you?
Yeah, it was pretty quick. So, I mean, I wish the chat was better. Like that's my biggest complaint about it. The chat is awful.
The chat's great
And
on
it sucks if you-
desktop. But I've never tried it on mobile. But I've heard that it's not very good on mobile.
It's crap.
Yeah.
It's garbage. It's absolute
Yeah.
garbage.
Yeah, I need to be honest here about something over at Rockfin. We were like growing at a pretty standard pace over there about 6 months ago. And then they flipped a switch or something on Rockfin, and we were growing numbers by the hundreds. I would say that went on for like a month. We were really like and it wasn't just us. It was all of the Rockfin hosts over there. Because I go, God, how did we grow 200 in 2 days? You know, that just doesn't happen. But they opened the floodgates or something, and that went on for, I'd say, about a month. And then it was back to the normal growth cycle. So I don't know if they salted the tank or whatever, but it definitely got us up in the numbers over there, which I appreciate the fact, because that's part of marketing. Wouldn't you agree? To make sure that you've got solid stuff. And I kind of like the way that when you go into Rockfin and subscribe, it suggests other channels that you might like and things like that. But for the most part, my biggest fear about Rockfin is them getting bought off by the Google gods. And that would just put us in the same situation we are now. So yeah.
I was talking to when I was in LA last time, and Franklin and Amber and them were there. Like I said back then, I'll say it now. Their interface hasn't changed in a year. They haven't made a whole lot of improvements there. They're a startup. I've worked for a lot of startups. It looks like they're trying to sell. That's my guess.
Yeah, probably.
I
Probably.
mean, it stinks. It's that they're either going to IPO or they're going to fucking sell. Those are the two options with startups. They don't go forever. So I don't know. People keep telling me no, they're not going to sell. I'm like, that's what it looks like to me. They've put no money in developing their front end.
I tell you what, Sleepy, I promise that I won't sell out. If you give me $10 million tomorrow, I'll start our own stream,
Right.
and I, at a minimum of 10 million is what I need to start it. But I promise I'll never sell out. I might spend a lot of time in Belize, but I will never sell out.
Well, I'm glad you're going so cheap, Oz. That you're very frugal on that. I appreciate that. Well,
But that brings me back to that's why you should diversify platforms, though. Don't rely on any one fucking platform because they can get bought, they can get sold, they can just go away. Like,
CIA will take them.
yeah, there's all kinds of things that could happen. So diversify your platforms, people.
yeah, I've got. I started off with YouTube, and I have stuff on Rumble. I also have stuff on Odyssey. For that reason, because one could go down any moment, could be just bought up, and then like, oh fuck, don't, what do they say? Don't ever have all your eggs in one basket.
Okay, Boomer.
Around.
Okay, Boomer.
Hey, I'm not a boomer, and I use that one.
220, 221, whatever it takes, you guys.
Oh, Mr. Bob. My favorite reference that the kids don't get is 88 Magnum. It shoots through schools. And that's my cool test. If you know that reference, if you know it and you're like super quick on the retort, I'm like, okay, all right, I'm keeping my eye on you. We'll see. But I think now, even with the fuckery that is YouTube, there's more and more of these platforms are popping up. The only thing is, it's like they're so new, you're not quite sure if you want to trust them or not. But as long to me, if you're not spending any money on them initially, then you don't really have anything to lose, right? I mean,
100%.
yeah.
If they're going to give you a platform, fucking use it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rumble's $25 a month at intro level for live streaming, or it was when I did it. I did it for a couple of months, and then I got tired of having to re RTMP every show because I didn't have Sleepy there to show me how to do it right. But we were growing on Rumble. We'd get a couple here, and then a few more, and then we start getting rumbles and things like that. So yeah, I'm with you 100%. Diversify your platforms. Brand yourself, not somebody else's platform. That's all I can say.
And if you can, get a fucking website. We all need to start having websites when we get banned from places that you can go and see our content.
Embed your website, and don't count on Patreon either to be your savior. I'm not too keen on that. So they shut off monetization to some of our sisters and brothers a while back. So I don't trust them as far as I can spit.
No, we at Slow News Day we got rid of our Patreon when they did that shit. We're done.
What do you think the best one is? Like Ko-fi or who do you think?
I mean, the problem is, like, I use Buy Me a Coffee primarily 'cause it's more kind of developer oriented. But you can't use PayPal there anymore. So like,
you can't.
Like no. So a lot of these like payment processors, they're pulling out of a lot of this shit. So they're trying to cut everyone off, man.
You got that new. Did that go through the transactions over $600? You got to report to the IRS.
Yeah, 87,000 new IRS agents. If you think they're not going to get you, They're coming after 87,000 new IRS agents because of all you fuckers. It's all your fault and your 600 damn dollars. It's your fault that they hired these guys. They're going to squeeze us until we bleed out every penny. And yet they're going to let Walmarts and Amazons and the Bezos and all these exceptions that the governors write exceptions for to pay them off. They're going to get it at our 600 damn dollars.
Well, they know these apps are used for mutual aid. And I think that's one of they're trying to undercut.
Oh, 100%.
They're trying to undercut the
100%.
revolution. They know it's coming, and they know it's going to
Any way
cost
they
money
can
to do
talk
it.
us. Yeah.
I mean,
Any
dude,
way
there's been times in the last year I wouldn't have fucking ate without that shit. Now they're gonna tax. Like, I'm so goddamn poor. Like, and now they're gonna tax me on that shit too. I don't make that much off it anyway. It's
My wife has a little cottage coffee business. Maybe she gets $50 to $100 a month. Maybe if we're lucky. That's $50 or $100 a month. And I told her, hey, $600. You got every $600. And she was madder than hell. She was screaming, criminal. So it's horrible. It's horrible. And you're right. Mutual aid, and they're cutting into that, and they want to block anybody that's going to try and, instead of divide us, bring us together through mutual aid, which I think is the key. Truly, is mutual aid to bring us.
You can't have a big ass like revolution or whatever the hell you want to call it without taking care of the fucking disabled and shit.
Yeah,
that's going to require mutual aid networks. It's just going to. We can't throw the most vulnerable people among us under the bus.
Right, especially if you're talking about what I think the effective things is a general strike. What goes with that is a big responsibility on a general. It takes logistics. It takes tons of mutual aid. You got to make sure all these people that have, problems, interfacing with society that need these services. We got to do that. That's got to be in the planning. That's why these one-day strikes are all well and good, but we need to go for the big one. And without mutual aid, it's not going to happen.
Nope.
Yeah, we
that's
were
what
talking
they're
about
scared of. They're scared of a fucking general strike.
We were talking about that last night on Misty's show about you're gonna you have to, if you want this general strike to happen, or you want people to be involved in it, they're gonna have to have some sort of like something to fall back on, and if there's no monetary support there, you probably not gonna get that many takers, and that's what the elites are counting on. It's like that's why they're screwing people with the 600 and trying to undercut, because they know because they know everybody's talking to each other more now than they ever have been before, and you see a lot of shows. I mean, they're not like they're not getting rich, but they get a lot of donations, which is great because the work that they're doing is literally paying off, even though they're not necessarily doing it for that. So some outlets are, and some outlets are doing it for journalism, but they also want, I need to eat money. So, big difference. But, I mean, do you think there's going to be anything on the horizon the only way I think we can bypass the $600 thing is try to do as much barter as possible,
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, I mean, like, and guys like us that have these skills in communications, which is, I mean, that's the key to any sort of like uprising or general strike or revolution. You need, the backbone is communication, and the way we communicate with each other by having more people in the space, more people having shows, and more people being able to do the shows and still survive at the same time, Oh, wow. Time is flying, gentlemen. So, let's see. So we talked about how to get started. We talked about some of the software that, I'm El Cheapo anyway. I would always try to go the freest route possible. So we talked about software.
And if anyone wants advice on how to do it super cheap, let me know. I will help.
We're, like I said, we're gonna do more of these tech shows, and I want to like I said, as soon as you're up and running with your websites and everything, we'll get that information out too. It's important, you know, and whoever else is doing that as well. So I would now, if we're talking like, if you're just somebody who is not very technical, right? Like, but you have like a laptop, right? So with the laptop you're talking about, you probably got a built-in camera, and you have a microphone on there, but you can probably just get you a somewhat cheapy USB mic that you can plug in there. Would you recommend that, or what would you recommend for like the bare minimalist setup?
It depends on what software you're using. If you're using OBS, not all laptops will run it. If you're running StreamYard, you can get away with the crappier laptop. OBS is pretty, unless you got a pretty halfway decent video card or like a decent built-in one, like a Ryzen 7 or something, like OBS struggles hard.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, you can do it with like the mic I'm on. It was like $60. It's a USB mic. It gets the job done more or less. It's not ideal, but you can always upgrade later.
Sounds great.
It does sound great.
Yeah,
Both of you guys sound really good.
Thank you. I just got a new mic. I've been on an ancient headset for like ever.
Dude, I got to tell you, on Slow News Day, like the first time I ever heard you, I thought you were broadcasting from the moon. I was like, what the hell? What? Because you were like,
one night we have reached orbit around Luna.
Oh, it was just trash, dude. That was from 2 years of vigils, man. Like, it got
I
worse.
mean, it didn't sound bad. It just sounded different, because now it just you got more of that, a little more of the bass in there, and you know, you sound
mic.
almost totally different, you know. So yeah, if I would say, like, if somebody's gonna get if they're just starting out, they don't really know anything about like how to build graphics, or like, you know, how to do stuff that like OBS. You know, as easy as OBS is, I would say that's probably like a get your feet wet first with like StreamYard. Do something simple, because you can do a lot in StreamYard that looks good. I mean, and I think that's probably the most popular program out there. I've seen a lot of live streams. I'll have
I fucked with it about a year ago, and it was absolute garbage. Like, they hired some people, because it's like light years better than it was a year ago. So
okay.
If you're looking for something easy, definitely StreamYard, 100%.
Honestly, have you ever messed with it that much? Maybe because that's not in your system. You usually would use that like if you were a guest on the show, right?
Yeah, that's I use the Livestream Studio. It's one of the reasons. Well, the biggest reason was originally when I was uphill. That's what John had. That's what he was running, and it took a while to get it down. And I'm still not 100. I'm not an expert at it, but I'm to the point now where I'm pretty good with it. But the reason why I liked this, and some of the folks that I work with that are tech people, engineers, not going to name names, they don't care for it. They like the OBS, they like the StreamYard, but I like the Livestream Studio because of the versatility and the ease, and it's more like a control booth at a TV station or something like that. But what I can do with this is quickly clone somebody else's show, whether they're using OBS or they're using StreamYard or some other platform. I can literally clone their show within a couple of hours in the Livestream Studio, because all it is layers and graphics for the most part. But I have all the bells and whistles that most of the other ones have, and it doesn't take time to build them. These are built in. So again, that's why I like it, and it's been working great for me. But it takes a hell of a computer to push that thing, and that's part of it. So, you know, if you've got the money to invest in it and you want to go that way, I can't say enough about Livestream Studio. But you know, again, I'm with Sleepy. If you want to get into it, starting out, use a StreamYard. As far as using a laptop, I don't recommend it. If you can, you know, raise enough money, at least get a refurbed computer that's fast, with at least 32 gigs in it, because that will that will actually give you enough to where you can actually work on graphics and do all the work. And I say this because that's what we did with Shanda. I set her up with a full-blown studio with 2 refurb computers that are really fast and gutsy, and it was like really inexpensive. We went through mics all day long, and I gotta say, for the price, the Audio Technica 2020 or the 2030 is the best sounding mic out there for the price. So that's where I'm at.
I would probably use something like you're using, Oz. My problem was I haven't been able to find a fucking video card in like 3 years because of the crypto bros.
You don't
So
want
I
to.
just
You don't want to buy one of the video. I got a 3070 in here. That sucker was $1,500
yeah. No, it's
for the
insane.
video card. It's insane. That's AI video card. And the reason why I broke down and got it was the GPU, and that pulls. It pulls from my CPU, so I don't have to. Because I do so much stuff, I don't eat up my CPU. So that takes on. It's like having a miniature computer inside your computer. So that's why I did it.
I mean, you can get like that's why I got the laptop that I did. I need to refurb it at the moment because a couple of my fans died, but that thing's got like a GTX 1060 in it.
Oh yeah.
So if you're gonna have to go that route and you got like $3,000, you can get a really good laptop with a really good video card that will run all this shit.
Oh yeah, I would say you're right, Josh, and I think $3,000's generous too with what they got going.
That's you can get for, I mean, if you're cool with Linux, you can get one from System 76, or you can just get a Windows installer. But if you want to run Windows on it, but I've loved that machine, man. I've beat the hell out of it for 4 years.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. There's no argument there. But some of these pads, and they belong on the shelf at the market because they're just not it. But if you're focused on doing something like that, absolutely get something that's got.
If you're gonna go StreamYard, or even, I mean, it even worked okay with XSplit. I got like just this little mini desktop computer. It's got like a Ryzen 7 with like the Vega 10 on it, and that'll actually, the graphics card it's good enough to like not tax my CPU out.
Right.
So you can do it. So I mean, if you want it, just don't go out and just buy the first thing you see.
God, no.
Like, talk to somebody.
Talk to an engineer. Talk to an engineer, for God's sake.
Like, you got to make sure you got enough memory. You got to make sure that you have a decent enough video card to do the GPU processing of the video. So, just, it's an easy question to answer. So,
I spent at least a year researching everything for when I was building my rig, because I knew exactly what I was going to do with it, but it was always like, and I was looking for sales too. Sales, that's another thing. If you're gonna build your own rig, look for those sales. PC Part Picker is a good place to help you do price comparisons, see if it's compatible with your other parts. That's, oh man, I was on that probably about as much as I was on Twitter. So so my girlfriend's like, you want to do something tonight? I'm like, honey, there's a graphic card on sale and I got to make sure it's She left me. I wonder why. No, she was so happy when I was putting this thing together. She said, I know you just love those toys, don't you? And I'm like, what the fuck? Are you my aunt? What the hell? Who says that? What the, But I said, no, you're right. I do it.
Service, man. You're performing a public service. So.
Oh yeah. She doesn't know anything about this stuff, but I'm always trying. But she's curious, so I'm always like telling her like little bits and pieces here whenever she has stuff. So, getting back to getting more women into the space. She's my little radar rabbit. That's her nom de plume, because she likes to fly under the radar. She's not even like on any of the socials or anything like that. So it's like I'm the loudmouth in this group. So she's the quiet genius behind the scenes. But I want to see more people get into this space. For better or worse, free speech is starting to dwindle. And we have to fight back as much as we can, and try to get as many voices heard so that they can't drown us out. So I'm trying to see. Let me see. So we went over like hardware, some of the software. Now I guess like obviously you want to get that kind of stuff depending on what you're going to be doing. If you're just doing like straight like analysis or something like that, like you're just a commentator, and you want to be able to put up web pages on there, that you can do that with StreamYard. And we're not like, we don't work for any of these companies or anything. At least I don't think. So
No,
we're not
they're
saying
not
like go
paying
out.
me.
And,
I pay them.
Right. We some of us pay them. And
It's just it's allowed me to not have to be at every stream, which like I'm a busy guy. So if Steve can run a lot of the streams, awesome.
I've seen stream.
That's why we switched over.
I'm gonna tell you something. I'll be straight up honest. I love Steve to death, but that dude, he'll I feel so bad. He'll be playing a video or something, and he'll come back and talk for like 5 minutes, and all you see in the chat is muted. I'm like, oh, and he's like, God damn it.
Yeah, he does that on occasion.
But it's happened to all of us. It's happened. I think it's happened to everybody that's done that. So I never.
Audio's the devil.
Yes. Yeah, we were. That was something we was talking. Yeah, I was about to ask, what is the worst thing you have to deal with when you're doing streaming? And yeah,
audio loop back.
Audio,
right?
It's the worst. It's the worst.
Now Oz actually helped me out because last night we were talking on Zoom, and he said you were hearing like popping or something like that.
Yeah, it's clipping. I call it. There's two ways that I've encountered it. Either you have two instances of audio going on and they're butting with each other, in which case the dominant one will cut the other one off and it'll flip and it'll make a clicking sound. Or it's a hardware issue. And Franco and I went through his. He had a hardware issue. It was the cable going in from his microphone to his base station. And I think he ultimately said the cable improved it, but the USB jack was a little loose, so it wasn't getting good connection. So those are the two things that are the toughest, but easy.
Get a powered hub. Your computer will love you for it because
absolutely.
Otherwise, you're gonna blow out your onboard ports like within a year or two.
Yeah, they're no good. Yeah, you don't want to do that. So.
No, but so I mean, even with you'll have to replace them damn hubs probably twice a year sometimes, depending on how much you stream. But it's better than having to get a new laptop.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Let me ask you this, Josh. Do you run what kind of do you use USB cables for the mics?
Yeah, on this one it is, and Steve's is USB. I mean, if I had the money, I'd have a full-on mixer with XLR.
Yeah, I know. It's if you don't have the bones, it still works.
But
it's not horrible.
USB mics are pretty decent these days. So
yeah, they are. That Audio Technica is really awesome. So yeah, it's a USB. So
yeah, and like you can find some good deals on them too. It doesn't break the bank either to get a decent mic. Right. So, but would you suggest plugging that USB cable into a hub? Because I think this is what happened last night.
It has to be a powered hub. It has to have
not a cheap one. Yeah.
Well, I have a multi hub strip here. It's like 7, but it's powered, right? It's a separate plug-in.
Yeah. If it's a separate plug-in, you're good.
Well, what I did was I've been plugging the microphone into that strip. So what I did, I got a new cable, a little more hardy cable than the other one, and I plugged it directly into the PC. And Oz was saying that the audio was a lot better than it was when we were on Zoom.
Oh yeah, it's great. It's great. It's better than your video, dude.
Yeah, video.
I think that's a bit right.
I mean,
I generally on Steve's laptop, I generally have the capture card. If you have your video input and your audio input on one on the hub, one not on the hub.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
generally
Don't
what I
worry.
do.
Yeah, when you lower that bit rate, Warren, you're not going to be able to tell the difference from a good stream and a good stream. See, you're just like it's just too much. So 720 pp is excellent for what
Yeah,
you're
720, 30 frames, 2500 bit rate.
Okay, that's what I'll be working on. The only thing was I was trying to when I had changed it to 720 and all my graphics were like
Yeah, there's 2 spots to change it. I can send you a screenshot on where to change it. There's 2
See?
spots for it. There's your base canvas size, and then there's the fucking stream output size.
yeah. So but you're supposed to set those to the same, right? So there's less like rendering.
No, you want your leave your base canvas on 1080, whatever your monitor is.
really
Yeah.
Yep.
because I heard that it puts like more strain on your CPU if
No,
it has
no.
to switch it. It doesn't.
No, actually, you're reducing actually on one side, so it's taking off. If you reduce it to 720 and you pull the 20, is that right, Sleepy? You should be more efficient. Efficiency wins.
Yeah,
Efficiency
no,
wins.
you'll drop CPU once you drop down to 720. The difference
So I
is
get-
huge.
So I could
Keep
keep
that
the
thing
canvas. You can keep the canvas at 1080, but like stream at 720, right?
Yep.
Oh
Yep.
well, yeah, okay. Then I don't have to change anything because it's the canvas I was.
Plus
worried about, so.
plus you can use Restream and all that for free and all that stuff. So, 'cause they
That's
only
what
do
we're using
720 for free.
tonight. I'm using the free Restream, and I'm able to. Let's see, it goes out to Twitch, it goes out to YouTube, also Facebook and Twitter. But if I want to like a custom RTMP, I think that's
Yeah,
what
I mean
have
it's
to upgrade.
yeah. You definitely don't need to be streaming at 1080 then, because they're gonna downscale it anyway.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I'm always changing stuff on here. I think if anybody's watched the show long enough, they've seen all kinds of different graphics. I'm always trying to like tool things and make it better and that sort of thing. And like I said, I'm always asking questions of people that know a hell of a lot more about this stuff than I do. I kind of know like the look of what I want. I don't need help with. It's like the making it work and making it work efficiently. And that's I think that's key too, especially like if you're going to be doing stuff out in the field, and I'm gonna get Johnny from Convo Couch on here sometime, and we're going to talk about like field technology that's like easy to use, but it's not like cheap, quality, that sort of thing. So it's
not for live streaming though, right?
well, it depends. Like if you're out in the field, like reporting something, and then some actual action is going on that you feel like you should probably go live and capture it. That's
that'll be good having Johnny on because he's been in the thick of it. It's just what we're trying to do. We'd love to be able to do that live streaming, but it's internet, right? So what we're encouraging is to record and upload outside the stream. But Sleepy, would you agree with the statement that audio in the field is even tougher than audio in the studio?
Oh, it's shit. It's absolute shit. You got to have like at least some lapel mics, something, or you can't hear shit.
Yeah, you got a lavalier. You can't use a lollipop necessarily in the field, and then you've got conductivity unless you're using a hardwire, which is a pain in the ass too.
And then you got wind noise, which is
wind noise. It's terrible. So you're, but that'll be an interesting one. I'm sorry, I digress, but Johnny's a good one, I believe, to talk to on that as well.
For sure.
So, yeah, for sure.
Well, yeah, and like I said, I enjoy talking about this kind of stuff, not just for my own information, but there's people out there that genuinely like really don't have a clue as to how. I mean, they have ideas for what they want to do for a show, they just don't know how to get that technical part. Like how do I go from A to B? So it's good that there's cats like you guys, in the mix, willing to help folks out that way. And you guys have given me some good advice too, maybe inadvertently, but like I said, I'm always listening to you guys, and I'm still learning this as we go along. The other thing, we're probably about to wrap this up soon, but I did want to mention one other thing, and this is something else me and Oz were talking about last night. If you want to do video editing for your streams, DaVinci.
I love DaVinci. That's what I generally use.
DaVinci is the shit.
Resolve. Yeah,
It's the best. It's the best.
And it's free.
It's free with a lot of features. A lot of features are free. I'm not quite sure how much it is. Is it a monthly?
It's not even that much. It's like no, it's like 400.
$300 $300 for the studio version, and then you can buy some a la carte stuff on the side. I'm training with one of our ladies over there at Roar. She wants to be a trainer, and we're going to get certified in DaVinci, if there is such a thing, by next year. But DaVinci's free. There's not a monthly, payment you have to make, and it's $300.
And the interface doesn't blow.
And the interface doesn't blow. And on top of that, they have so many great tutorials, and they have classes. They got a full. They're starting at $12.95 just for one class, and it's got like 7 sections in it, hours long, and it's well done. So if you want to really, and I think the color and the audio in DaVinci is better than Premiere personally.
Dude, the audio is so much better. I've been able to clean up some crazy shitty audio with that.
Yeah, and it's not that hard. Once you get the basics down and get your mind wrapped around how it flows, it's great. It's easier than Premiere in my mind. So.
100%, it's easier than Premiere.
I was a Final Cut Pro guy for years and years and years, and when I built this thing, I was thinking about doing a virtual machine and putting the Mac on there just so I could do Final Cut. But I got a hold of DaVinci. I don't know. Somebody told me about it, and I said, "Okay, I'll check it out."
I think it was me.
And, yeah, I think it was you.
I think it might have been me. Because I've told a couple people to use that one. I'm pretty sure it was me.
And I'm glad you did, because it is so. Yeah, I know. Well, mine does too. I didn't even know who the fuck told me. So, stupid stoner head. I apologize for nothing. But yeah, it's the interface is like super easy, and they're like there's a ton of I like to learn some of the stuff on there. I just got on YouTube or one of these places and just searched for DaVinci Resolve, and I came up with a ton of stuff. So, and a lot of times people, I don't know, it depends on like me, I like to be fancy pants. I like to have like little fun opens with like motion graphics, I like
Sure, why not?
I like a little glitz.
Yeah. You can run it on pretty modest hardware too. Like long as you have the memory, it's a tad bit slower on the little mini Ryzen 7 I have now. It's like a tiny bit faster on my laptop with a good video card, but it's negligible. It's like a couple minutes off.
The processing time, the rendering time is what taxes the thing. But like Sleepy says, if you got a Ryzen 7 or above, and that's why I'm so adamant anymore when I help people build a system, said just forget it. 32 gigs of RAM, just get it. Unless it's a laptop, but I say if you're going to be doing video editing and you want a really good stable outstream on your system, 32 gigs of RAM, 64 is perfection to me. And but that's not cheap either. You're talking, you get some Ripjaw in there or something, some of that Cubase stuff. Wow, but it's worth it. It really is. Do we have time? I wanted to talk about something for a couple of minutes about the motivations behind why you want to stream and where you might want to go there.
Yeah, I think that'd be good to wrap up on, actually.
I got about 10 minutes left.
The floor is yours, sir.
Yeah, basically, I'll start off with a question for you guys. Ask yourself, why are you doing this? If you're a first-time streamer, don't you think that's what people should do? Do you want to make money? Do you want to make a living? Do you want to do public service, or do you want to learn and then expand from there? Is that a fair question that you should ask yourself before you do 100%. This stuff? Yeah, really, because the time investment, it taxes not only your time personally, but your whole family. I mean, you have to have your time set up like your girlfriend Warren that's going to leave you if you keep doing this stuff. Um, you have to make that kind of commitment, because once you get into it and you get either hooked or committed, and I'll say hooked and committed because, you know, Twitter hooked, you know, that sort of stuff. But where do you want to go? Do you want to make money? How do you do that? And I think YouTube, for the most part, if you want to monetize on YouTube, what category would you guys, if you were serious about making outside of where we're at, Josh and Warren, but outside of that, would you be DIY? Would you be singing? Would you do parody? Would you do tutorials? Where do you want to make money? Because some of these people are bringing down bucks on a monthly basis, and I'm not talking about thousands. I'm talking about hundreds of thousands.
Dude, you got people making shitloads of money off unboxing videos, for God's sake.
Yeah, and reaction to videos. Are you kidding me, man? Yep. We are probably in the lowest paying thing, and that being said, some of our sisters and brothers, and I'm going to use Brother Jackson. You know, I don't have anything. Jackson is taking, in my opinion, and you guys push back if you think I'm wrong. He's using the drama between the left or the progressives and the shit libs, and he's bringing in bank over there. Okay, I believe that we need somebody doing that. I don't want to do that stuff. That's not where I'm at, but he's doing it, and he's doing a pretty good job. What do you guys think?
I don't know. We tried to do some of that, and like it kind of backfired on us, honestly. Like, I don't know. If you get like a lot of my problem with some of these channels is they devolve into fucking shit talking fests.
Yeah,
and I don't fucking like them. I don't like the shows. We started doing that a little bit, and I kind of pushed back on it. I was like, we got to quit doing that. I don't like it.
Right.
And
Warren? Yeah.
I think that's what probably gets the clicks. But if your goal is to get information out, don't fucking do that shit.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
If you want to just get clout and that's all you're in it for, fine, fucking go for it.
Yeah.
But
I
don't. Yeah, I just don't. I don't watch anything with a bunch of drama anymore. I just don't.
Yeah.
I don't watch it unless I'm gonna learn something. I don't watch it.
Yeah, exactly. Some people just want to be internet famous. I'm not saying that they don't have good intentions for like trying to spread some information, but they are using several channels I've seen that do that. And like you said, you know, that's their lane. You know, there's a lane for that, but for me, I knew I wasn't going to get rich off of this. I knew that I had no thoughts of otherwise from that. I saw the shows that everybody was doing, and they were very somewhat or mostly serious news shows, giving you some pretty bleak information because it's true, you know, and you know, the truth doesn't sell very well, right? But it's necessary.
No.
But my lane was, I come from kind of an entertainment background, right? I did news, but I also did stand-up comedy too. And I wanted to do something where I brought on people who had to be pretty serious on their own shows for the most part. I know Steve jokes on Slow News Day and stuff like that, but he's talking about a lot of deep, serious shit.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, dude, if we don't make ourselves laugh during that show, we'll fucking lose our minds.
Yeah, you will.
I can't remember who I told this to, but I said my show is like everybody else's shows is like their workplace. They're doing their hard work. My show is like the bar you come to after work to have a couple of beers, kick back, and talk about just other stuff that you don't normally talk about on your own shows, right? Like tonight we're talking tech stuff, but it's like, you know, I hope to have both you back on at some point, and we could just talk about other things besides tech, you know, because I think...
Oh, that'd be great.
You know...
Yeah, really.
For sure.
Yeah.
Although I could talk about tech for 3 hours, but I'm not going to do that tonight. I'm not going to do that to you guys. Because I think in order for people to trust folks like you know, Convo Couch and Slow News Day, you know, Hardlands Media, the, you know, Revolutionary, you know, the RBN folks, you want to trust them, you got to get a little taste of them personally. You know, like they're not just people just ranting and raving about things that are horrible. You know, we also have fun things that we do, you know, to kind of take a little break from all the bleak and gloomy kind of stuff, and we can joke.
That leads me to the point. If you're gonna get into this, you gotta fucking take time to not get off fucking social media. Like, don't stay on that shit constantly because you will burn out.
It'll fry you. It'll fry you.
You have to dump your brain out. You gotta have some fucking hobby or something that has nothing to do with this shit, or you will lose your fucking mind.
It doesn't
like,
matter.
That's my secret to how I deal with it. It's like I watch trash TV and crap when I'm not doing shows and stuff.
Yeah,
I mean,
mindless entertainment's my out. So yeah.
Yeah,
you gotta do that.
That's what my lady is, Julie McCoy. She's the cruise director. So like when we get together, I let her decide everything that we want to do, because I don't get to see her that often, and then when I do, it's like I want to see her happy because it makes me happy. You know what I mean? Oh, I know, I'm precious.
You're human.
But you do have to take a break from that shit. I mean, I'm very concerned about what's going on in the world, and but you got to take a mental holiday, at least for a little bit, and then so you could get back in the ring and fight a few more rounds. You know?
Yep. Exactly.
Even if it's just once a week, man. Like, you got to do something.
Yeah. Unplug, man. Unplug.
Yes.
You'll live longer.
100%. Have a meal with your family, your friends. You know, like,
if you have any left,
carry yourself.
Go buy yourself a nice fruit and eat it.
But Oz is 100% right too. Like, you before you start doing this, like, think of what your goals are going to be. Don't just stream because you want to stream. Have some pretty clear goals, and you'll do a lot better.
I think one of the newer live streaming ladies out there that I just absolutely adore, Sabrina Salvati. She started out slow. She went through everything you had to go through. She started bringing in more and more people. She's a thoughtful, easy to listen to vlogger. She's very, very well versed in what's going on in the news. She brings a little bit of drama once in a while, but there's a point to it, and it's really not aimed at anything but information. So she just does a great job, and of course, Sister Fee. I adore my sister Fiorella over there too. So shout out to those.
Are you talking about Sabby?
Sabby,
yeah.
Sabrina,
Oh,
Sabby,
yeah, dude, her show's incredible. Like, I'll catch it when I can. Like,
yeah,
she's super chill. Like,
yeah,
she's not like obnoxious.
Yeah.
Like, she gives good information. She gives good analysis. She's awesome.
Yeah.
Like,
she's the antithesis of Anna Kasparian. And
100%.
If I had my way, she would be sitting.
A soul.
Yeah, she has a soul too. So if I had my way, I would have Sabrina or Fiorella or some of our other sisters in that chair when we have to put up with stuff like Nomiki Konst and Anna Kasparian and even Francesca Fiorellini. Florentini. I used to watch her too. I thought she was pretty good, but man, oh man, what a letdown. But it's sellouts. So anyway, I'm going to shut up and let you close out the show there, guys.
Well, yeah, and that's
a great
the thing.
Conversation, guy.
This has been. I mean, you talk about like being disappointed with people. It's like I think we just evolve. You know, we pay attention, and if somebody's selling us some bullshit, I think we've all been around long enough to know, when we smell it, we just don't want to. There's enough of that, and we want to move on to something else.
Yeah.
I just want to say I really appreciate both y'all coming on tonight, and I probably kept you back way longer. Sleepy, you may be living up to your name right now, huh? You're not crashing out on me. You okay for like one more minute?
Yeah, I'm all right.
Okay,
I have to stay up until normal bedtime, or I'm gonna wake up at like 2 a.m.
So, well, I dropped your Twitter handles in the description below, but starting with Josh, what's going on with you? Tell people how they can find you. You know the drill.
Abort you on Twitter. I'm generally in the background in the mornings on Slow News Day show if I'm awake. Otherwise, I'm always on the Sunday shows. Those are 10 a.m. Pacific on Sundays, 1 p.m. Eastern, right? Or yes. And
Oh
that's,
yeah.
I mean,
that's right.
I'm not as online as much anymore. Like it was bugging me. So I'm not on Twitter as much as I used to be, but you know, I always check my DMs and stuff. So
Just let us know you're
anything
okay
that's
every
usual.
once in a while, okay? We worry about you. Are you eating
Yeah,
all right?
I dropped off for a couple months.
No,
Like I just started going on Twitter again. It was just depressing, man. Like the mental strain from just the constant flow of shit. And
It'll melt your
you know,
soul, man. It'll melt your soul.
Well, the
Yeah.
good thing, the good thing is you have a lot of people that you can vent to. So that there's never that's a never ending resource right there. So and I'm always down for that too. Are you guys doing a show tomorrow? Didn't I think Steve said you might be doing one tomorrow?
Yeah, I think we're gonna do one in the morning because we didn't get to any news today.
Right on.
Also, I'll once my sites are up, I keep an eye on my Twitter. I'll have links to it there.
Yeah, we'll be
We've
definitely
got a
spreading
new
those.
Mastodon server I'm about to launch for Slow News Day, so keep an eye on
Nice.
that. So if for people I know, I'll send invites if you guys want an account there, but it's gonna be pretty small. So if you want one, Warren, hit me
Cool.
up and I'll get the account.
Yes, sir. Mr. Oz,
Same
what
with
about you, good sir?
You can catch me over there on Twitter if you need anything. DM me, but by all means, anybody that wants to get into this, just DM me. I'm the Land of Oz Roar Media, healthcare for all, and it's at the Land of Oz 02, or excuse me, 2 Land of Oz 2 over there on Twitter. Like I said, if you guys have questions, just DM me, help you out. And it's been a pleasure being on here with both of you fine gentlemen tonight. And I'd love to come back and talk about more tech-related stuff, more motivational stuff. And I just hope we helped out some folks tonight.
Yeah, and like I said, DuckDuckGo is your friend too. There was one thing I did want to
Duck
mention.
Goose, get it together.
DuckDuckGoose.
Hey, can I shout out independent Indie Left Media? They're doing a great job too. If you want news source, go with Indy over there. He's doing a fantastic job.
That's right. That's one of my brothers in the Indie News Network. In fact, we're streaming on all 2,000 channels tonight. So that's probably why I look like I'm 8-bit.
Hey, that guy's like the king of the aggregate, dude. Like he gets
I
mad.
don't know how he does it, man. He's got to be running on some high test fuel. I got to tell you.
I tell you, the one
He
one
probably
of the
drinks
best.
more coffee than my ass, and that's hard to do.
I'd stroke out.
He
I'm getting.
I don't
there.
know how he does. I don't know how he does it. Him and Reef do that.
They're killing it.
You know, their
Yeah.
show on Saturdays. How did we miss that? And that's great too because I like. I don't know. Usually on Saturday nights, I'm so tired. I try to stay up as long as I can to watch the whole thing. But him and Reef and Indy, they're always bringing out new journalists that I'd never heard of before.
Yay.
And it's like
Real
those
journalists,
folks.
yeah.
You know, get those
I just
names
miss
out
having
there.
free time to be able to watch more stuff. Like
Well,
No
that's
kidding.
that's the bad thing about getting more people into the space. It's just too much shit to watch. You know, it's like I'm like,
especially for engineers, man. Like the last thing we want to do when we're not doing this stuff is watch shows. Like at least that's how I am. Like I just, you know, that's why I like coming out here if I don't have to run a show. It's nice.
nice. See, it's kind of you're kind of like hosting a party. You know, it's like you want to go to a party, you don't want to host the damn thing. You know, but then when you host it, you know, you can have fun there too. You know, but I'm usually all up in the chats, just like causing trouble. I'll tell you this before we go. KRTD. What's his name? Joe Firestone and Jimmy from
Jimmy Sunderland, yeah.
Sunderland, yeah, she was on last week in our women in independent media. That's another thing we're going to keep doing is the women in independent media because you're right, Oz. We
Please.
got to get We gotta get everybody in the mix. Everybody's gotta get in there. But she is such a talent over there, and
Absolutely.
you know, so I was in the chat and they were doing something and she got in the chat and she said, look, I'm trying to be serious with Joe, quit making these jokes, and I was just being an asshole. And then Joe called me out. He said, oh well, let's look at this. Here's Wardy Entertainment, he's talking some nonsense. Oh, I was like, oh shit, I feel like I was passing notes in class and the teacher busted me. Anyway, but I love Joe. Everybody at KRTD, all that's the thing. KRTD, Roar Media, Mikasa Sukasa, had, you know, Hardlands Media, everybody, you know, RBN. We all got to work together because
no beefs, just work together. Fuck the beefs.
All we got is us.
Fuck the beefs. There's too many beefs in indie media these days.
Yeah, they're dividing us up, man. We can't have that shit.
Well, the good thing is though, like in our little groups of folks, I like to think, I mean, yeah, you know, everybody's gonna have some disagreements every once in a while, but I think we got a pretty coherent little culture going on there, and I hope it grows, and I hope we can keep doing more good things for people. So, gentlemen, I want to thank you again for coming on tonight. We're going to do this again soon, because people can never get too much education. I love both of you, and let's see, I guess I'll see Steve's show tomorrow, and you'll have there's a show on tonight, isn't there? What are you doing tonight, Oz?
Yeah, to hell and back. I'm going to get in there in like 2 minutes and get everybody set up. We got Jason Burmas, Amber King, and hosted by Shanda Masta and that Italian guy. What's his name again? Pasta.
Yeah, Grandma. That's Grandma.
Grandma Pasta. So that's going to be
Pasta.
happening in about 15 minutes if I can get my shit together. So,
all right, we'll let you out of here. Thank you so much, brothers. I appreciate y'all. And everybody in the chat, I think it's Steve Wolfbrand showed up. Hey, what's up, Steve? Everybody, thank you for coming out tonight. Love Steve. Steve's one of the gang that you see him all these shows. I love seeing all these folks. It's like a family. Love you, brothers. Y'all take care, and everybody at home, have a great night. Don't forget, wash your ass. Keep a clean ass. Come on, folks. It's a new year. New year, new you. A new clean ass. Good night, everybody.